Hello everybody, my name is Roberta Robbins and thank you for coming to my channel. Today, it felt like a good day to do a reading, and we are just, as I'm recording this, we are just on our last 2 days of February. So there was this feeling that it was, this reading would be about the energies coming in for us collectively for March 2020. And since there's so many ways that we can be doing a reading, setting our intentions for it, as I was sitting with Spirit to ask, well, what's the feel for today? What's being called? Why am I being called to sit and do a reading today? And there was a few things that came up. One, as I was pulling, deciding what decks I was going to be using, and they're actually laid out here in front of me. You can't quite see them. But the decks that I've chosen and the crystals that I've chosen, I always ask what crystals need to be even with me when I'm doing reading. And interesting enough that it was all about the heart crystals today. So that in itself I was hearing that the reading that I'm going to be doing today is going to be for working within our heart space. And that's been coming up a lot in conversations that I've been having with people, but also for myself. It's been coming into my heart, trusting how to listen to my heart's wisdom, following my heart, following my true north, my soul whispers. And so as we are entering here within a new month, and this is going to be a very powerful month. I mean, every month we can say every month is a powerful month. But I'm feeling like March is going to be anchoring in and really kind of like start to feel this new dynamic that we've been working on and resting into. So now I feel like March is going to be about us starting to integrate what we've been doing for ourselves, now integrate with a little bit more embodiment and action outwards, for moving outwards. It's not saying I feel like everything's going to just jump and crazy and go, which is a possibility for some, but it's now March is going to be bringing us the opportunity to start to embody our connecting with our hearts, our truth, and putting it out there, like actually bringing it outside of us, that it will be seen and heard a little bit more within our outer experience, instead of it being such an internal world process that we've been doing a lot of lately. I think we're going to be seeing more and more people talking about living from the heart space, what that actually means. We're still talking about upgrading ascension, light codes, activations, moving from 3D realm up to 5D realm, and what that all means. So when I sat, only like I said, there was this heart connection theme for this reading. That would be the overall intention for this particular reading for March, is connecting into what our heart is guiding us through March. What does our heart want us to know? The other thing in the layout, when I was asking, well, how does Spirit, what do they want me, how do they want me to layout? And something different that I haven't done before, and that is, they were saying, we're going to be doing this reading with getting our theme cards at the beginning, but I'm going to go into the elements. And so I'm going to be doing earth, air, water, fire, 3 cards per element. But I also want to invite you into listen to the energy of what bring those elements into our lives, but also knowing what we rest more into ourselves. So are you more of an earth element? And that might be just like in your personality, or if you're more of an earth element, or just with your zodiac sign. So when I go through each of the elements, I will be talking about what zodiac signs rest with those, so that you might be taking different layers. This reading is meant to give you perspective in different layers to add on to who you are, so that even though this will be a collective message, it will be an opportunity for you to grow and learn, in the sense of taking pieces of collectively a message, a theme, but then going, okay, I weigh more into the earth element because I am a Capricorn, but also I'm a very grounded, earthy kind of person. I relate more with earth-based stuff. I'm feeling very grounded. So you just might find that that layer that we'll do with the earth speaks to you more, or you may find it differently through the other elements. So let's get started for today's reading for this particular one. Our overall theme for this one, like I said, is going to be connecting in with what is our heart speaking to us? What is it guiding and saying for us to give us guidance and direction for the month of March 2020 as we enter into also an energetic month of 7 of expansion, movement, growing, energy starting to pick up. An expansion, not expansion like a number 3 month would be, but just that it's starting to be an outward expansion from us, from within and out. So I'm going to start with 3 cards I'm going to pick to give us an overall theme, energetic theme for the month of March. So asking Spirit for an overall theme, energetic theme, you got us from our heart space for the month of March. Okay. So our first card, it says woman holding a coin. So we get the number 42 with this, and we have the coin is the pentacles in this particular deck. And so, you know, the abundance, holding earthly realms, being present and grounded within yourself for this start for theme of March. And she's almost like in the sense too that she's showing this to you, right? She's holding this for you to be seen. And you know, this particular coin that she has, right? It has the opening, the hole that's going through. And so it's like, open up, almost like I'm getting a sense of this coin, this pentacle of coins of earthy realms. It's like there's a doorway into the heart and soul. It actually makes me feel of a entrance into the heart itself, into our heart, which is interesting in itself. So let's do another, like this one. To our theme. Today I feel like doing a little cutting with my cards as I shuffle. So the smoky mirror, we have the number 47 on this card. The smoky mirror, we have the statue, a Buddha statue in the water, but it's like a smokiness within the water, and there's the elevation of enlightenment and energy and opening up within this. But the smoky mirror, the theme and energy, what I'm getting on this is, you know, things are starting to be revealed. Things might still feel a little hazy, a little smoky, but there's reflections and images and gifts and mirroring to us for the month of March that will help guide us a little more clearly. There's more clarity coming in for March, and that there just might be some negotiation of how we are going to navigate the waters and the smoke and mirrors, and if there's illusions and various things in our lives to start navigating ourselves through the elements of looking at our mirrors, looking at sacred mirrors, but looking through the veils of our heart, because this is the heart theme reading. And so what is being shown there for us in the month of March? And I'm just looking at, I wanted another card. I'm going to go with this deck over here. That's a little more lined up for you guys. Okay, so our third building blocks. Yeah, it's new. How are we building? What are we building? Remember, of course, we are in a foundational year 4 right now. And so what are we building in our lives? How are we stepping forward? Knowing that we're building from the heart space out now, not so much the mind. And interesting enough, in this card, you know, she's standing on all these blocks, right? She's building up, but it's showing like her lower part of herself is being reconstructed too, and that there's also these blocks that are surrounding her. It's sort of like they're waiting to find the place where they need to be settled, or, you know, the place of the blocks that maybe they just need to be let go of. So this month we're focusing on our grounding, our opening into our new heart portal space, looking through the smoke and the mirrors and seeing what is there, and how are we placing a solid foundation as we move forward with this month in our heart center as we move forward in a new way of being. So as I was saying, I'm going to do the elements, and I'm going to do tarot for those. These ones here, grab those. So the first, I'm going to be pulling 3 cards to give us a theme and a story for the element of earth. So earth element, that would include Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And so you could be watching and take a message from this as your sun sign, your rising, or even your moon sign in this element of earth, the earth element. So once again, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. 3 cards we asking from Spirit to guide us, to give us direction as we step into March 2020 and how we are navigating from our heart space. Card 1, oh, the Wheel of Fortune. 4 of Fire and the 10 of Air. See if I can fit all these on here, guys. Have to probably do some layering. So with our earth here, we have a theme of, we start with a major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 10 is a very spiritual number, and that we're moving into so many possibilities, so many directions, so much abundance, that there's new beginnings that are there, and especially new beginnings in the spiritual realm in our life. And how do we want to start these new beginnings, right? Is a question you could be asking. How do you want to move forward? We're moving forward from our heart space. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And as we're moving into like foundations, we have the 4 of Fire. So fire element here coming in the 4. So that would be 4 of Wands in the classic tarot. So foundations, foundations within like fire and passion, what's bringing in you alive within your life. How are you setting those foundations? Remember, we have building blocks, right? Up here is a theme, overall theme for everyone this month. So how are you setting those foundations that are connected not only from the heart space, but that bring you joy and passion and fire into your life? And then we have the 10 of Air, and that would be the 10 of Swords. So cutting through, complete, being clear, being strong, moving forward. But within this particular tarot deck here, picture here, you know, she's the angel, so she's got her wings, and all these beautiful feathers are flying around here, and there's these messages. So feathers are usually messages from spirit, from bird species up to spirit. So when we find feathers, right, we know that's usually typically those of us are into like a very spiritual led life. You know, when we see a feather, we're like, oh, there's a message, there's a gift here. And it's typically either that your messages or your prayers are being heard, they're being sent to spirit, and spirit is sending them back to you, that there's answers and guidance there for you. And and it's very clear, just have to look around and prep and get ready. And she's almost like, her wings aren't up and out. She's almost like ready to receive what these messages are before she takes any action and movement forward. Okay, so that's for the elements of the air element right here. If that spoke to you, and I'm going to go over to this deck to switch over to the air sign, and 3 cards to guide those that are feeling connected to the air element. And of course, air would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Once again, you can be reading this because it's your sun sign or your rising or your moon. Once I've done all 4 of these elements, we'll get a bigger theme and feel a message too. Oh, that one just wants to flip it, so we'll take that one. Flip that guy out first, and then this one. And one more from Spirit for the element of air. All right, perfect. So we have here the Page of Swords, the Chariot, and the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I love the Queen of Pentacles. So the Page of Swords, this is, remember, air element. So the swords itself is of air, of new ideas, of new thoughts and new things coming in. And we want to stay centered right within our heart space and living from that space. But there is the newness and new thoughts and new ideas that are coming in, and imagination and kind of being carefree. But also there's a little bit of a caution here to not get, once again, too caught up into the mind, or not looking at, you know, maybe where you're walking or going. Here she is walking on this little, she's walking on actually a sword, which would make sense, across a sword, a gap, right? So a little dangerous. She's tiptoeing across. She's like looking at this book, all the stuff that's coming out. She's got birds that are flying around her. She's got obviously the light bulbs as balloons with thoughts and ideas that are coming in. There's also this imagery of air and movement and things stirring. So you may be feeling air elements that there is a lot of movement and energy that's flowing around with your mind. So remind yourself to get grounded, to look around, take what you need, the lightness of this, right? Look up. I'm also getting the message of look up and see what's around you, and always come back into that heart space. But it's okay to dream and have those ideas and light things coming in. Just don't get too caught up in it, because it could lead to you walking on a sword across a space that you may actually end up hurting yourself, right? So be cautious, but take in the newness and the ideas too, and the lightness in a way that is needed for this time in March for yourself. And then we move into the Chariot, another major arcana. Both so far, everyone's got a major arcana card for each of the elements. So the Chariot, right? Moving forward, but there's this, we always look at this one as making sure you stay balanced, because there's always, like in here we have the white horse and the black horse. So working with our light and our dark, making sure we stay balanced as we're moving forward, because if you're not, if one of these horses were to veer off, you'd be in trouble, right? So keep yourself focused, keeping yourself balanced through the month of March for yourself. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Love the Queen of Pentacles. She is like the queen. She's the Mother Earth. She is grounded. She is sure. She is centered. She knows herself. She is just the wise woman, you know, that you would go to for wisdom and that. So this to me is saying, I think I'm getting 2 messages here. One, it may be time, if you've been looking to reach out to somebody, to a teacher, a wise woman, or getting healing, someone that you trust that would help you within this process that you're going through. This would be a good signal, like a time to go do that. But also the other message is, remember to stay grounded within your own medicine, right? Your own wisdom. Get grounded, right? Especially the fact that you're getting this very light, free kind of card at the beginning, and then this moving forward and staying balanced. So in order to manage this and manage March, Stay within your queen, stay within the earth and like connect to the earth. Even though this is like a sign, reading this line here for the air, remember not to stay too much into the logic, which is air element. So that stays into a lot of mind, right? And thinking. Stay grounded, and that will help ensure you to feel into what you know and what feels best for you. And remember, this whole theme for this month, for this particular reading, is how are we navigating from the heart, from our heart and heart wisdom. And in order to do that, we need to make sure we stay grounded. Alrighty, so let's go back to over here. And now we're going to go to the water signs here. So I'm going to move these up so I have enough room on my table for all of this. All right. So let's just cut for these. You've been running out of room to do my cutting and my shuffling here. All right. So this is for guidance support for the element of water. That would be Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So 3 cards. 3 of air. 3 of air. Hangman, once again, you guys getting, everyone's getting a major arcana. And 5 of fire. Okay. So what we're getting here is, this in the classic tarot, it would be the card where you would see the heart with 3 swords through it. So you might be finding right now, water elements, that you're maybe dealing with a little bit of sadness and hardship within the heart, emotions being running a little higher for you. So because we're moving into that heart space, right, where it's time to like do what you can to heal that. There's also in this card, there's 2, I don't know if you guys, it's a little bit of a water imagery painting here. There's 2 birds up on the branch. There's also one on on one of her wings. But the 2 that are on the branch over here, there's a white one and kind of a darker gray one. All 3 birds, because here's the other one, all have a crown above their heads. And to me, what I'm getting is that there may be, this is only going to be for some of you, there might be a situation in your life that you've been trying to heal from, where there's maybe been a third party that's been coming in and making a little bit of this hardship, this heartbreak happen, and this sadness within you. So it's time to like heal from that, go within that, address anything for yourself, take some time, nurture yourself. She's like, you know, her back is turned to this heartbreak, but she's also kind of look like she's going within. So it is a time to make sure that you're going within to nurture yourself and to learn what you need to learn, but know that you do have yourself, right? Even if there's a sadness and heartbreak that's going on in your life, you are strong. You hold everything you need. So it's the self-care, the self-love image. Time to come back into your self-love and self-worth right now, and so that you can live from your own true, pure heart space. So maybe be taking a little bit of time this, especially the start of the month. We're still in Mercury retrograde, the start of March, right? Just going within, healing, and maybe even the fact that we are in Mercury retrograde, right? That first 10 days pretty much of March. So things are coming up from the past that needs to be looked at for ourselves, right? So if there's something there, just take a little bit of time for yourself. Don't allow yourself to, remind our air being, in our mind, to, getting too swept away into the heartache, the thoughts, right, that bring down into the emotions that may flow us, off course, like veer us off course. So it's time to remind yourself to come within, nurture. These things are coming up for a reason right now for you to address and to heal, okay? So the Hangman, there's enlightenment, there's new energy, new perspective that's coming in. And I feel like it very much feels like it's related to something with this. So those of you in the water signs here, water, right, is all about the emotions, you know, all about the intuition. So going in, trusting your intuition, letting your emotions flow. There's a new enlightenment, new wisdom that's coming in here with the Hangman. And then we got the five of fire. So that would be a 5 of wands here. And so sometimes that's a struggle and a hardship, and there's a lot of choices that have to be made. So it feels like you really need this month of to take time so you can really know what needs to be burned and let go and release from your life, but also where you want to be moving towards. I was thinking, you know, it's like that movement forward. There's a bit of a struggle, but 5 is also, the number 5 itself is about change. So things are possibly about change within your life too, right? So wands are the passion, and 5 can be that change, but we can also can be maybe a little bit of energy and work that has to be put in to make the change and make the right decisions. So reminder for you to let your emotions flow in your water element, allow them to flow, go into your heart space so you can hear and know and hear with this new enlightenment. There's a gift that's coming in definitely for those of you who are elements that's going to help with this movement and this change forward. Okay, so one other line here. Constantly moving my cards up. All right. So we're asking for the last element would be fire. So that's going to be your Aries, your Leo, and your Sagittarius. So once again, you could be taking this as your rising, your sun, or your moon if you know those. If you don't know those, go to either Astro Seek and I think even Astro Cafe. If you Google those on I think even astro.com. If you Google those, there will be a free calculator with them, and you can punch in your birthday, and even better if you know where you were born, location, and the time of your birth, they will give you these to let you know what your sun and your moon sign is, because the majority of all of us know what our sun sign is. It just gives you another layer. Oh, that one wants to come out. I'm shuffling. Here we go. Let's go in. We got the devil. We got the world. And that was at the bottom of the deck before I started to shuffle. So I noticed that one. So I really want it to come out the Page of Wands. All right. A little space here, guys. So we got the beautiful devil. I say the beautiful devil because this guy is like enticing, right? The devil itself and the energy can be quite enticing. The wheel and the Page of Wands. This once again is for your fire signs. And what we have here is you might be dealing with, first of all, when I see the devil card, I think of you might be dealing with the Capricorn. This is the card for Capricorn. All cards have a relation to the cards, and the elements obviously have relations to all the zodiac signs. So we have new beginnings. I always think in the devil, there's death, there's birth, death, and rebirth, right? And also the illusions of things that we have to take care of within ourselves. So there may be something that's creating some illusions for you in the month of March that you're trying to move through, but also there's something that's ending right now. So you being this is a fire element here, so right, the fire, the passions. If there's something that is really enticing to you for the month of March, make sure you take this, I feel like take some time. Is this healthy for you? Is this old? Is it, does it need to be let go of? Or is it going to bring you a new beginning, a rebirth? Is it true? Is it light or is it dark? How is it making you feel? What is through the illusions? Remember, one of our guiding cards up here was the smoky mirror, way up here. So just in case that, I feel like there's a little bit of a warning here about the illusions for you too, but there's this new offer that's coming, that you have to be in your power. You have to we have to be in our heart center, right? Not in the mind, but the overall theme. What is your heart center? What is your heart saying and guiding you in the month of March with a particular situation or feeling or person that might be surrounding you, that might be either offering you a new beginning or just causing some illusions, right, for you, and maybe just some craziness within, you know. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see this on the thing. So there's a person here, and he's like got a hood on, he's got his head down, his hands are on his head, and this guy here, he's got like little strings coming down. So watch for the energy. It may not even be a person, right? It just watch for the energy within yourself that might be feeling like it's throwing you around, like making you feel like you're a puppet on the strings, right? So watch for that kind of energy that might be surrounding you or within you, within your mind, within your heart, and get clear and see where you want to go. What is ready to let go? Death and rebirth. So then we got the wheel. Wheel, once again, we have the wheel. I don't think we have the wheel. Oh yeah, we did. Up here. For Earth, there was the wheel up there for them. So once again, new beginnings, right? The balance, spiritual new starts. I really do feel like this card's about clearing up illusions, getting strong so we can move into the new starts. And what's called, there's this balance, the balance of holding yourself in your light, within your darkness, all that you are. Balance between your heart, balance between your mind, balance between your passions and your desires, everything that you are. There's a balance, and there's all this abundance and new start that's rising up. But to stay very balanced yourself, and look, it's just like in this tree pose, right? One foot up. So being very solid within yourself, anchoring into your heart space, but also knowing that you have that communication through the rest of your body, the communication of things that are surrounding you in life, that they are balanced. We have the white and the dark here bouncing. Making sure that you're taking time to, before you do any major actions, because, you know, fiery actions, and it is a 7 energy month in March, as I said, with moving forward action. So make sure you take a pause, get very still, very grounded before you move into new beginnings and starts. But there is definitely some new great abundance here. And so with the Page of Wands, it's like ready to move, ready to put a passion and fire and energy in what you want and do your own dance and create in your life. So very positive energy. May feel like it's a little, you have to do a little work, a little inner reflection here, but then it's move, 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 bounce, and create and go. Go with your joy, go with your fire, go with your passions that are in your life. And like I said, this is the fire element here. So looking at this whole beautiful cards here, I'm going to move a bit of this out so we can see a bit of them again. Make sure I have them all on the screen for you. Remember, we had our themes at the top with the woman holding coin, and I wish I had that book handy to see what she had more. But like what I'm truly getting from that card, once again, right, that the holding the portal into our house, our heart, the earthiness of it, the solidness of it, the abundance, the sureness, the smoky mirrors, watching it for those within our lives, and any mirrors, any fog, clarity coming in, and then the new building blocks, right? Which is a whole theme all year long that we are all working on what our new foundation in our life is. And then we have, just to remind you, we have the earth here element, we had the then air, water, and fire. So overall, this theme here, when I'm looking at this for the month of March, there seems to be a common theme of just about making sure we are solid, making sure we are strong, and centered. Taking the time to go within before we take movement and action, staying very balanced as we do take the action, as we can see through receiving messages from spirit so that we could do something with them, staying balanced within our lives. And we had that coming through a few times, this balance between our lives, being grounded, the groundiness was coming in, the new alignment was coming in, maybe possibly looking at some old heartache and pain and learning the lessons and how we're going to move forward with those into our own, a solid sacred union with ourselves. So there's some relationship stuff that's going on here, some love, which is interesting, which is not actually that interesting in the sense that, like I said, I was being called to bring in a lot of heart crystals for this reading, but also the theme was about our heart, right, of love, our self-love. And so that there's still possibly for some of you out there, a little bit of healing for some wounds that have been there, and they possibly have been surfacing through this Mercury retrograde, and we're in this Pisces season, and the Pisces, right, emotions and waters and the depths, and you know, we can go into wanting to reflect on some heartache and sadness so that it can be brought up just to be brought to more light and more love and to let go and forgive and acceptance, so that there's a moving and letting go and a moving forward. So if any of you are dealing with a person, a past relationship, there's definitely this message about that needs to be a let go, a healing and a let going and a forgiveness, so that there can be a new rebirth that's happening here, so that you can stand solidly, that you can welcome these new things like the Wheel of Fortune, the Fortune's Wheel here, that came up twice in this, and being solid, being your own queen, solid within your wisdom and knowing, starting new creative adventures with fire and passion. That's a new enlightenment energy that's coming in, the new foundations, the messages from spirit. So as you can see, like there's whole energy that is working here through these elements. And like I said, if you know any of those signs for yourself, there was probably some extra messages in there for you running through this. So I'm going to leave you guys with a couple other messages for each of the elements. I'm going to do an animal card for each. Okay. Move my coffee over here. I'm not sure why I bother to have a tea or coffee when I do my readings because I never get around to drinking it and then it's always cold. Let's bring that over there. Give you guys enough room. Alrighty. So I'm gonna pull a card just for oh gosh, he just wanted, I can tell he wanted to come out. It was almost like falling on the floor. I have a card for each of the elements. So I'll be doing 4 coming down the side here. I'll remind you which ones they are. This is just a little bit of extra guidance and messages for this month of March. So let's flip this one over. Oh, and I'm not doing reversals because I didn't bother to look at what way the deck was when I picked it up. So this would be the earth element. And then we went into the air. So we got beaver spirit, and then coyote spirit for the water, and then fire. Alrighty. So you guys can see all that. So we have panther for earth, beaver spirit for the air, water is fox spirit. I have such a good story about fox spirit, and dove spirit. So I'm just going to read these to you guys. So panther spirit for all you elemental, that people that connect with the elemental earth energy, like I said, that could be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo are the lovely earth signs. But also if you're just like naturally, like you have a lot of earth in your chart, or that you're just really like connecting, like having to work with grounding a lot for yourself right now. This is panther spirit. It says reclaim your power. Reclaim your power. Number 44 on here. Reclaim your power. And there was a lot of that message that was coming, like, get clear of who you are, but reclaim your power so you can be your Queen of Pentacles. And then for you, air elements. Once again, air elements being Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Beaver spirit. Lay a solid foundation. Lay a solid foundation. So important, right? Get anchored. If you're like one of those air elements, you're smart, you're intelligent. There's like, you're in your monologue, right? But you gotta lay that foundation in your life. You gotta get grounded is what I'm hearing from this. Build your new foundation. Once again, I'm gonna say it, we're in a year over 4, it was all about our foundations. So extra message for you, build your foundations. And then for water, we have fox spirit. Think on your feet. Think on your feet. So what, you might be getting a little too caught up maybe, right? If you're in your emotions being a water element here, and once again, water is the Pisces, the Cancer sign, and the in Scorpio. So think on your feet. So you may have to be making some quick decisions, right? You have to maybe be light in thought and energy, choosing things in the moment, right? Taking action within that space in the moment, not getting too carried away with energies that might be pulling you to the past or to the future. So think on your feet. And then you guys, the fire, once again, that would be your Aries, your Leo, and your Sagittarius. Dove spirit. And it says, be peace. And interesting enough, this is a different deck than this over here. But this bird has a crown on it, just like the crowns there. So if any of you fire elements were feeling into this particular message up here about this heartbreak, and there was an extra few messages on that one, I think there's an extra little message there is what I'm getting, because that correlation of being your own queen, right? Grounding into your own essence. If there's a little bit of hurt, especially if there's a third party that has come in there and caused some extra challenges for you, but also own your wisdom, own what you know inside you. Be peace. Come and find your own peace within you. And then one last thing I'm just going to add for you guys. Little affirmation. For each one. For Earth, today I listened to my heart. Perfect for this reading, right? All about the heart, listening to our heart. So claiming your power, listening to your heart. You will claim your power by listening to your heart and trusting yourself. And then our air sign. Today, I forgive myself. Today, I forgive myself. And that you may need to remind yourself that and say this as a mantra. Today, I forgive myself. Because you're building new foundations, right? You're coming into your queen, into your essence. And you may need a little bit of forgiving of yourself from past things that might be coming up. So more self-love for you. And then the water sign. Today, I am grateful. Today, I am grateful. Remember your fox down here. Fox spirit, think on your feet. Trust in your instincts and what you're choosing. And be grateful. And fire. For today, I know that I am more than enough. And interesting as I get that one, remember this was with be peace, right? That peace of love. And I said there was something that was also a little message that was coming over here. And it was even feeling like, you know, these two, there was a message, extra little message for some of you out there. So know, for today, I know that I am more than enough. So I hope this reading has been insightful and helpful. Of course, I would love to hear from you guys, see how that was resonating. Love to hear how your month is going, even how did February go for you. Take the time to check out, since we are still in Mercury retrograde, I have a reading that I did for Mercury retrograde. You can go check that out too. That's on the channel. You can also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do that so you can get the updates when there is a new reading. And also the other thing is, if there's messages that you're wanting or guidance or reading, or you have some questions, let me know what those are, because I'm open to hearing kind of different messages or different readings that I could be doing and themes to help guide you guys. So I hope all is well with each of you. And until the next time, be gentle, listen to your heart, and enjoy life.